I did not finish machine-human hybrid translating the truth bullets because I realized that might take all day. And, why? Just for me, things like that take a long time. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's guaranteed. So, I stopped midway through because I wanted to make sure I got this done going into next week. So, got this recording done. So I didn't finish. And I just kind of left it hanging, like unfinished in the pinned comment and description of part 4, I guess. Yeah, we might go, well, isn't that, it's like a sign that will never be finished? To which I would say, well, it's kind of hanging out there in the open, so I suppose it's hard to leave that unfinished, but it's certainly possible. Some other things left unfinished, so there's no reason why that wouldn't be, in particular. But I'll try to go through them as best I can here. So, first one is the cables. And that's, the description is roughly, the cables were scattered on the floor of the primitive broadcasting room. In order to make the radio audible in the restaurant, it seems several modifications have made it a mess. Okay, several modifications have made it a mess of cables. According to the results of Mai's autopsy, the scar on Fujira's neck, I accidentally spelled it wrong on my notes. Of course. Fujita, I spelled it as Fujisa. Goodness gracious. Okay. Fujita's neck appears to have been caused by using a cable from this broadcasting room. Okay. So, and there isn't really any reason to doubt the, there is also another scar thing going on, type dealy-wop, but there isn't really too much reason to doubt that the murder was actually carried out using a cable. There isn't like a huge reason to doubt that. Second truth bullet, an unidentified white powder was found on the main broadcasting device. It is worth noting that it's only on the power button. I considered tasting a little of it, but I thought it might be poisonous, so I didn't. Now, I feel like kind of an idiot, kind of a moron, because I didn't identify this yesterday when I made the previous recording. I was thinking, is that cocaine or something? And I thought that we'd have to find a container that would contain more of that white powder somewhere else in the school so we can, like, make the connection. But duh, it's the rosin! Why? It's the rosin! Of course it's the rosin! So, yeah, that was stupid of me. There's rosin on the on button. So, I'm trying to imagine how exactly we'd use this. One would say, okay, according to a different truth bullet, I think it's probably under Tatanashi's account. She's gonna say, we could say maybe the protagonist himself during the trial could go into this trap. That she didn't know how to use the machines, and so she didn't use them. The Tatanashi, or Seina Tatanashi, the super high school level violinist, she just let Fujita do it all because she didn't know how to work the machines. But here we see that we got rosin on the on button, so at least she turned it on. And we presume that rosin would be something that would be on her hands and not Fujita's. Okay. And then we'd use this truth bullet to refute that she never used the machines or something like that. Tasty bread and drinks that had not been touched were, for some reason, placed in front of Fujita. If Fujita enters his concentration mode, they still leave it as bored, concentration mode, he won't be able to wake up on his own. Then, who brought it? Now, I don't know why this is a big quandary. I mean, he could have brought it before he went to concentration mode and went concentration mode like afterwards with it in front of him and not eating it, and he hadn't eaten it yet or something. I mean, I don't know why this is some weird thing that he's being puzzled about, but I guess it's puzzling somehow that Fujita had food in front of him. Don't know why this will be important to the trial. It kind of doesn't seem like it could possibly. I don't know way to connect this to anything else. It's just kind of random. Now, as for a guess as to who brought it, my best guess would be Kana Issei. We don't want to brought the food because she thought he needed food or something. Okay. Broken CD player. So I didn't actually go through this one really thoroughly in translating it, but I forgot who's it, Katsubaki? Is Katsubaki Toreya? Anyway, according to Katsubaki, this is the CD player that Fujita would use, but it's used when he was in concentration mode in the restaurant before in that morning when they came up with the broadcasting idea, but it was broken, and the protag suspects that it was broken during during Kana Issei's first broadcast. But despite this CD player being broken and unusable, we still saw Fujita with the headphones on, suggesting that someone put the headphones on his head, and not knowing that, to maybe make it look like he was in concentration mode, and not knowing that this was broken, the CD player was broken. Maybe knowing it, maybe counting on other people not knowing the CD player was broken. Something like that. So, this one is the cold setting of the air conditioner. Basically, the air conditioner was set as cold as possible, and whoever did it was trying to obscure the time of death. Monokuma file number 1. So, according to the first Monokuma file, the victim was Fujita Yusaku. Time of death is unknown, or it's known, but Monokuma decided not to give it to you because that would make the trial more interesting. Cause of death was strangulation, or suffocation, as Google Translate likes to say. The site the body was found at was the primitive broadcasting room within the gymnasium. The victim appears to have been killed there. State of the corpse: slight bleeding and bruising on the back of the head, and horizontal scarring on the neck. No other trauma. So it's hit on the back of the head. It's just he may not have been in concentration mode, because if you wanted to strangle him with the cable, you'd probably do it like while he's in. Once you got the cable on the guy, it's really hard for them to get out of that, right? So, it suggests that maybe he wasn't in concentration mode when he was attacked and killed. Which is also suggested by how the CD player was broken. And then, that's it. For the Monokuma file, we have Seina's account, which I presume is, for some reason she just wanted to stay with the body, and, she didn't use the machines herself. She always left it just for Fujita. I presume this one is from Misako, saying that both Kana and Seina can confirm that Fujita was alive at 5 p.m. Shimagami's account. He's going to say that someone left a note under his door that said, "Meet me in the gym at 5:30. He went at 5:35, and when he was there, at 5:35, no one was there. It's unclear if this was no one in the gym complex, so no one in the gym or the broadcasting room behind the gym, or just no one in the gym part of the gym. We don't know how far he looked. Now, we know that the person that left him that note was Chinami, the super high school level hair designer, And we know that while you're investigating, we wanted to talk to her. Shinami was really nervous. We have Yozori, there we go. I had to pronounce this out. So Yozori's account, which was that Shinami left a note under Tato's door. And then we have Hayamoto's account, which is that at 7:15 he saw Kana Issei running from her private room to the gym. So I wrote down what the Korean for each of these truth bullets represents as in their meaning, so I can try to identify them quickly. Hopefully, help me get through this. So, who did it? I think is pretty obvious, right? It's Seina. But everything else about this is not obvious. I presume the reason why has to do with the motive, right? Usually has to do with the motive at the beginning. There's some things she really had to get out and see, right? It's just pretty simple. But how she did it, she strangled him with a power cord. When did she do it? Well, that's, I guess, the big puzzle to figure out during the trial. I actually have, because I haven't been keeping very good track going into this of what time things are happening. I don't remember when the broadcast was supposed to happen. I'm guessing it was 7 p.m., but I forgot. It's really hard for me to, make a guess as to what the time of death was. Plus, there's just not very much evidence about what the time of death was. We just know it was, before 7 and after 5. So those kind of, the how and the how is kind of obscured. We have to piece through that to get through the trial. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Seina. That's my pick. So let's go let's see what else are in this menu here. So that was the truth bullets. What's this one? Oh, this is the characters. Oh, these are the skills. So I have Yukari's skill. I guess I can equip it. I need 5 of something, but I guess I had them. Okay. And this is begin the trial. Now, this is probably going to be the most difficult thing in gaming I've ever done so far in my life. Not because Danganronpa is hard. Danganronpa is relatively easy. It's that it's in Korean. And I don't know very much Korean. So, this was really, really bad. This may be the most, the train wreck potential here is immense. That's all I have to say. Forget getting over it. Forget only up. Forget Dark Souls. Forget the world's hardest game. The last part of the world's hardest game 4. Whatever that pogo stick game is. Bionicle the Game GBA port. All that hard stuff. This is going to be harder than all that. And I haven't done some of those things. Okay. Sichak is begin, right? So, Hakeb, Chevan, Sichak. Or Sepan. Chepan. Sichak. Let's crash and burn, shall we? Let's get totally lost. Oh no. Now, is this extractable? Okay. First, let's start with a brief explanation of the class trial. In the class trial... Oh, I don't have the text extractor thing visible, which you probably can't read, because YouTube compression is stupid, but I'll put it there visible just in case for some people so it doesn't get compressed or something funny. In the class trial, after discussing who is the culprit, the outcome is decided by your votes. If you point out the right black, only the black will be punished. If you point out the wrong person as the black, everyone except the black will be punished. And only the black who fooled everyone will proudly graduate from this school. Before discussing this, there are a few things to check. Is that okay? Any questions about the class trial are welcome. First of all, I was like, got a mono. First of all, are you sure there is a culprit among us? That is absolutely the case. Clearly the culprit is among you guys. That's right. I guess that's for sure. A murderer is really among us. I can't believe it. But at this point, it's like, I need like the young kid voice. I can't believe it. But at this point, I have no choice but to accept it. Then the second question. Why is there any... I've been concerned about it ever since I came in, but... What is that? Even if he is dead, you shouldn't bully your friends, right? Bullying is bad, right? And if I do this, I might be cursed by the soul of a dead child who is looking somewhere. It's a kind of consideration for me. Oh, is that something? Don't blink your eyes at strange points. I guess that's a, saying in Korean. But I get what it means. It's just that I have a strange hobby. You have a strange hobby, you Archer. That he has a strange hobby, that Archer. Something like that. Oh, come on, please, put that aside for your tastes and start discussing it quickly. If it gets boring, I'll set the time up on my own and execute all of them. But he won't. It's an empty threat, but whatever. Even if you rush me, it'll start on its own. So shut up and stay still, bastard. Well, let's start with the overall details. Everyone, are you ready? Well, I sure am not! You sometimes have to be, like, watch carefully, like, the facial expressions as you go through, because sometimes facial expressions will tell you things. Don't see anything on your, Yozora's face, though, of any note. Oh, do I have the part 1 notes ready? No, I don't. Okay. Just to make sure, I gotta have the part 1 notes down there. Begin. The full-scale class trial begins. Okay, straight forces to the right and left. I have to do all the work because I'm the protag, and for some reason I'm like aware of this and have accepted it. I started to feel bad, as if my insides were twisted, but I had no choice but to overcome it. Let's start with the mindset. The mindset? Would you like to hear an explanation of non-stop meeting? Wait, you do like the narrative. Would you like to hear an explanation of non-stop meetings? Yes, I would. When the non-stop non-stop debates, right? When non-stop debates begin, classmates will discuss the class trial. The content of the discussion at this time passes through the screen in text format, and you must sort out false opinions or contradictory remarks from the content and refute them with the bullets obtained during the investigation. The sentences that can be refuted are limited to yellow letters, and please refute them while considering the contents of each friend's sentence and currently loaded bullet. So, look at the faces. Yukari's is kind of smiling. Okay, so Yozora, poker face. Tato, kind of smiling. Parkour guy, Takahara, kind of frowning. Cuber guy, straight face. Seina, kind of smiling a little. Architect guy, round is her usual face. A lot of usual faces. Nothing really special in the faces here. Okay. Also, please note that if you shoot a truth bullet into the air instead of a yellow sentence, your score will be reduced. And if you incorrectly refute the correct sentence, your speaking power will be reduced, which is your health, basically. It's more like your trust level. To change truth bullets, press the shift key. Okay, so shift key scrolls the truth bullets, not scroll wheel. Okay, scroll wheel for truth bullets would be a useful shortcut, but whatever. And to fire, press the space bar. Let the non-stop meetings begin. Huh, so I don't have to do like a mouse thing? I don't have to aim? Like in Danganronpa? Like the main, okay. Oh no, it's starting with one already? Oh no. Okay, Monokuma file is all I have. Oh no, it does, wait. Oh, it's arrow keys, okay. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, I'll wrap around again, right? You lose time, but I'll wrap around again. I'm gonna turn the textractor. Wait, no, okay. I'm pretty sure the place where Fujita died was the gym's little room, but he wasn't stabbed to death. Think again. Okay. I guess we're gonna shoot at the only thing we can shoot at, right? Ah, phooey. So, non-stop integrity 100 points, mistake deduction 10 points, total 90 points, okay. So my integrity increased by 10, decreased by 10. Fujita was not stabbed to death. He was strangled and suffocated. What? Is that so? It looks like a movie, but there are a lot of scenes where people are stabbed to death. What? So Tato's just gonna be the Yasuhiro of this. But yeah, Akane, he's just gonna say stupid stuff. That's just a movie. It was written in the Monokuma file. How can I conclude that he was stabbed to death? I'm sorry. Or you conclude, probably. She's probably accusing him. The Monokuma file. I forgot to read it. You're more absurd than I imagined, Tato. People can be... Why do you people have to be like that? There's a certain level of messing around, you idiot. Stop talking nonsense and move on to the next one. Or next point. It's because the noise that doesn't benefit... The noise doesn't benefit is poison if it's too long. Well, you would be a quite different... You would take a lot of issue with Danganronpa in general, sir. So I think the next weapon is... Weapon? That's a scary sound. Weapon that killed Fujita. Now it's time to reveal it. The murder weapon is... Okay, so we're gonna pull up, the Truth bullet number 1, the cable's on the floor, right? Yes, get more explanations. When the non-stop debates begin, classmates will discuss the class trial. Sure. The content of the discussion at this time passes through the screen in text format. Why did I redo this? Okay. Oh, okay. Same truth bullet. We don't have to change the truth bullet we use here. Okay, I need to figure out which one is the wrong murder weapon. What? Muki Chungrong. I can't read this stuff. Now, it doesn't look like I have a time limit, which is regular Danganronpa, there's a time limit. Muki Chora Sarhe. Okay, so it's probably the one with the question mark. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Also known as a wag. I don't know why it's firing hit enter, but whatever. That was just a guess. I don't know why it, like, fired when I didn't intend it to. Couldn't the culprit have used objects in the broadcasting room as weapons? An item in the broadcasting room? For example, the cables that were hanging on the floor. They were of various thicknesses, so I found it a useful one among them and so they found a useful one among them and strangled him with it. Is there evidence? There is evidence. What did, Kazuki heard from Yurino, my Yurino, when she was examining Fujito's corpse? Something about the chair. Sitting in a chair. Okay. Google Translate needs to come to my rescue here. So the first one is... switch out of Roman characters. Okay. So Nam is like a root for man, but I don't know what it actually is in this case. Okay, so marks on the neck. Okay, so evidence that they used the cable wouldn't say anything about the wound on the back of the head, right? So he's sitting in a chair. It probably isn't it. And then Siche. The temperature. Or the tense. I would pick the first one of these options. The marks on the neck. He had traces of his strangulation. There was traces of strangulation on Fujita's neck. Is that right, Yurino? Yes? Yes, there were traces of a thin line digging into his neck. It's called scarlet, but it's thin and horizontal. There's a high possibility that he was strangled by a string-like object and died. I agree that the cable is a weapon, or the weapon. From what I've researched so far, there's no rope on the first floor that's thin enough to strangle people like that, except for the cables in the broadcasting room. Do you know? Try to get a better grab at this. Oh, how do you know something like that? How would you know something like that, or something of that nature? I just checked every now and then. I had quite a bit of time to research. Misako is very meticulous. It seems that all the general information has been sorted out. Then next... This is the beginning of the task of narrowing down the culprits. Before that, there's one thing that hasn't been revealed yet. First, we need to address that. The time of death? What's not revealed? The time of death. The only thing written in the only thing not written in the Monokuma file. The only correct information that was not displayed. Kazuki would know, right? Me? I was surprised to be pointed out so suddenly, but I know for sure. The time of death, which is Saik, right? Sain. Oh, the death is listed as asphyxiation in the Monokuma file. Let's focus, Kazuki. Oh. Okay. My inability to read Korean has lost me some health. Pihei-ja is the victim. Who the victim is. Okay, so it's the second option that has to be the one that's correct. There we go. The only item with question written on it. You mean the time of death, right? Correct. Come to think of it, here it is not written properly. It's the only thing here that is not written properly. Hey. Monokuma. How did this happen? Be fair about the class trial. You'd be fair about the class trial. Isn't that what you promised? I think I should give a very private and delicate answer to that part. Huh? To give you a simple example, how would you feel if you developed magic with all your heart and soul, and then someone watched the tricks and exposed it to others? Do you know if you ignored the efforts of others, you become a human worse than a bear? What is a human that's worse than a bear? Anyway, I decided that the time of death of the victim, in this case, was one of the information you guys should find out for yourselves, so I deliberately didn't write it down. How would you get the answer? So, is the time of death an important clue in this case? Could it be? It may not be. I think it's quite worth seeing the faces of all of you who realized that it was wrong, even though I realized it best. I can't be sure since it came out like that, but since it's uncertain information, I have to find out more while proceeding with the trial. By the way, how did the culprit strangle what's his face? Fujita. She's referring to him as Yochin. They wrapped the rope around his neck neck from behind and snapped it. You just crossed it over, right? That's probably right, but I don't think Yoching didn't even struggle. Is that so? Note this concentration mode is not a truce bullet. It would take a minute for someone to die from strangulation. So I had to clunk him first, right? Considering the size and weight of Fujita, it would have been within 1 to 2 minutes. If he had resisted vigorously while he was being strangled, he would have been thrown out to become the... He would have thrown out the culprit, or the surroundings would have been a mess. But there was like food and stuff there. Huh. Certainly, after struggling, the sight of Fujita sitting peacefully in the chair is inexplicable. Even if the corpse was moved later, I wonder if there was someone among them who has the strength to lift that gigantic body. Then how could the culprit get Mr. Yosaku so neatly? Well, they clunked him on the head first, or he was in concentration mode. And you can't get broken out of concentration mode even if you're being strangled. Certainly Fujita's body was peaceful itself, to the extent that he would open his eyes as soon as he woke up. Couldn't he be overpowered by someone who was incredibly strong? But I wonder if Yosaku didn't have the strength to resist with that size. Huh. In addition, it is said that when a person is in danger of dying, superhuman strength arises. Ah, I saw it on TV. Live right before you die, the events of your life are like a film in your head passing by. That's so irrelevant. Hold on. So much stuff to juggle here. Okay. It's a kaleidoscope now. Okay, whatever. Let me try to... This needs another grab as well. If it wasn't done by force, did they use something like a handkerchief that you see in a movie? It's not exactly a handkerchief, but an anesthetic called chloroform it's impregnated with. It's probably not an anesthetic. I checked while investigating, but there are no medicine like chloroform in the infirmary. Well, the infirmary is not a science lab. Chloroform is dangerous if handled incorrectly. What? Then it's impossible. It seems that this issue must be addressed. We're just gonna say, how did the culprit kill Yosaku without any damage? So we're gonna use the Monokuma file, or the CD player, probably the Monokuma file. Another trace besides the asphyxiation. Think about the contents of the Monokuma file again. Would you like the explanation of... Okay, they're calling this flash anagram. Which... is this like Hangman's Gambit? Okay. When the flash anagram starts, various characters appear on the screen at random positions. Yeah, this is the Hangman's Gambit. So let's do a Hangman's Gambit of clunked on the back of the head. Which... What? It's like a puzzle game in which you look at the letters that appear on the screen and infer the appropriate word for the blank in the lower left corner to fill in the letters in turn. Please note that if you try to fill in a letter out of order, the word will not be completed and there will be a reason for deducting points. Or it will deduct reasoning points. Even if you press the decision key in the air, there is no additional score. The key is to match the letters as quickly as possible before the words disappear. Then start the Hangman's Gambit. Well, I don't even know what the Korean word is for getting clunked on the head, so... Okay, Bach seems to be the right... No? Okay. Song appears a lot. Song. Nope. Okay. Okay, ta is the last one left. So let's find a ta. What? It has to be Bach, song, or ta, because those are what's given to me. Oh, that just eliminates it. What if I hit the enter on it? Nope. Okay. Okay. Well. I mean, there's only 3 options here. I'm gonna be neither of these 3. I just don't have the controls correct? What? Okay, Bach, song, or ta. There's only 3 options. Is this broken? Oh, it hit twice. Oh, it hit twice. Okay. So that was a song, right? Okay. Ta. Okay, so song, try song for the second one. Nope. Okay. So Bach. Sorry, Bach. And then song's third syllable. The correct answer is in the Monokuma file. The Monokuma file? According to the Monokuma file, there was a bruise on the back of Fujita's head. Could this be the mark left when the culprit hit Fujita to knock him out? Certainly, strangling someone who has passed out isn't that hard. If you beat him to the point where it swells up to like that, the taste might go away. The taste, maybe. You must have been very sick. If I fainted in an instant, I wouldn't have had time to feel the pain. You speak like someone who has experienced it. It's a personal matter, so I hope you don't mind. Well, he's been beaten as a kid. I can feel the age from the first bullet. Okay. I don't mind chatting like that. Now the priority is to catch the culprit. Calm down. What about the rest of this? Calm down and then... I understand your heart, but urging things like that won't make things better. My friend died, but this situation where they are discussing leisurely is strange. Welcome to Danganronpa. This is not leisurely discussion, it's a trial with our lives at stake. We have no choice but to be cautious. Cook. Ah, Katsubaki smashes the railing in front of him with his fist. Or with her fist. I think I know a little about how she feels, so whatever. That's it. A bit mixed up. Anyway. She has witnessing her friend's dead body right in front of her eyes. It's only natural that she would be upset. How many clues have you gathered? Based on these clues, you should narrow down the outline of the culprit. So in the end, won't you find out who the culprit is? I'll do my best. Yo Ting's enemy. I will definitely find him. But I don't think I can easily infer from the clues that we have so far, or that have come out so far. It's not enough just to figure out the weapon and the trick. As long as it's to stun and then strangle, anyone could do it, right? Even the little kid over there. Come on! No, I'm not a kid. Because the most important clue to uncover the culprit is missing. Are you talking about the time of his death? If we can figure out what that is, we'll be able to narrow down who the culprit is. My son also gave a long speech earlier. Didn't he, Monokuma? What? Really, Mr. Monokuma? No comment, no comment. I don't get what that means. Some sort of dirty joke, but I don't get it. From the reactions From his reaction, it is clear that there's an important hint hidden. But there is no clue to guess the time. Well, you know when they were last alive, right? If you look at dramas, you can find out the time of death by touching the body here and there. Scientific investigation, you mean? That's it. At least in this case, the method cannot be used. Why? I thought it was a good way of doing it. The reason why it's difficult to get help. The reason why it's difficult to get help from forensic science in this case is AC. The air conditioner is running at the lowest temperature in the broadcasting room. Maybe that's why? What does that have to do with forensic science? Estimating the time of death by scientific investigation is to look at the body temperature remaining in the corpse, or the degree of muscle stiffness. By the way, in this case, the time of death could not be determined because the air conditioner is running at the lowest temperature. If I use specialized equipment, I'll be able to manage it, but there's no way such equipment exists. You know pretty well, right? Rather, that's why it's more suspicious. You're more suspicious. That's why you're more suspicious. Okay. No way. Is Yurino the culprit? No, she hasn't contributed enough to this chapter. No, I'm a super high school level researcher, but I have a little bit of medical knowledge. I know. Because I only watched it once. Huh. If you can't approach it scientifically, I have no choice but to go analog. Hasn't any of you guys seen Yosaku last? Have any of you guys last seen it? Okay. Who last saw Fujita? Do some research on this and you'll be a little closer to figure out the time of death. No, I don't want an explanation of non-stop debates. Time to lose again. It's this one, right? Okay, let's see here. I hit enter, it like shoots on me. Okay, she's probably right. In the morning. Okay. Okay. Okay, if you don't wait long enough, it fires. I couldn't see them. Okay, so that's okay. Probably right. Last time you saw him was in the morning. I presume. Okay, this last one is probably the run I hit on. Yes, I hit on it. So I didn't see him. That's what that says. So we saw him in the morning in the restaurant, I believe. Which... Okay, I don't know what this one means, but it's probably the answer. Yep. One accidental firing, oops. Issei and Tatanashi, you've seen Fujita, right? Yes. You said that after the morning broadcast, I'll check to see if Fujita is okay. Yes. Tatanashi and Issei? I can't be sure that I'm the one who saw him last. I've been concentrating on something in the broadcasting room. He has been concentrating on something in the broadcasting room at the gym all day. And we're probably right. Huh? Maybe we are right. Mr. OK has been concentrating on something in the broadcasting room at the gym all day. Interesting. Okay, not a very good translation. Time to whip out Deep L. Okay. Nothing revolutionary there, same thing. Okay, so that, like, after the ellipses, it's translating to, and we're probably right, or something like that, and that doesn't seem right. Probably right's not probably right. Yes. Seiching and I went to check every 2 hours to see if Yoting was okay. When was the last time you checked? About 5 o'clock. Approximately, maybe. Yeah, it was a little after 5. Yes, Miss Misako? You asked me to let you know how Yosaku was. Last time Seina came and informed me. Oh, I asked him to let me know how Yosaku was. The last time Seina came and informed me was after 5. But we only have her word for it, though. But was Kana there to collaborate? So at least until then, he was alive. I'm not sure about that. If it was just the... See, I think Seiin is the culprit. If she's the culprit, then she could give a false report of him being alive. Wait a minute. Then what about the food that was there? The food... the food... Oh, I'm supposed to select? Okay, I'll select the food, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about selecting the food. You mean the food that was placed on the desk in front of him? That's it. The fact that the food is placed in such a place means that Fujita once left after the morning broadcast ended. If it was near dinner time, when he went to get food, someone might have seen him outside. Then it seems a little too early to conclude that those two were the last witnesses just because they confirmed it. If that's the case, I brought it and put it there. Miss Tatanashi. Or Tatanashi Ball, because he uses the word ball for some reason. Princess Tatanashi? I skipped lunch, or he skipped lunch, and seemed to be deep in thought, so I brought it. I don't think he even touched it after all. If he haven't even touched his food, wouldn't he already be dead then? Or concentrating? No. Even if he was alive, Fujita probably wouldn't have moved. Yeah, but the CD player was broken. Okay, how would you know that? Or how would you decide that? Didn't Tatanashi say Fujita is concentrating on something? She even said that he had been doing it for hours. You mean concentration mode? That makes sense. No, it doesn't. You mean sitting in one position for hours? He is a well guy. Swell guy. You could do that. In conclusion, Yosaku didn't come out of the broadcast room today. It seems like it. Then I think it's a little easier to sort out the suspects now. It would have to be people that went into the broadcast room. Why? Yeah, the Cuber, he's gonna be... Socho is gonna be like the Nagito. His hair even matches. It's gonna be like the point man. You are baka. The scene is a simple broadcasting room in the gym. The scene is... Now that's almost certain... Now it's almost certain he didn't come out. The number of cases of killing outside and moving the corpse into the broadcasting... The possibility of killing him outside and then moving the corpse into the broadcasting room has disappeared. Then... the culprit is someone who has been to the gym. Well, it's really weird when someone moves the body who's not the culprit. So even if they move the body into the broadcasting room, they still have to do that. They have to go in the gym to do that, so... I would still think the culprit would have to be in the gym. Yes, you could get this weird Byakuya thing, where someone moves the body. But Byakuya's not here. We have kind of an analogous character, but I'm not so sure. Anyway, that's right. Hey, think straight about what everyone did today. Those who have been to the gym at least once turn themselves in. Now, okay, now the hairstylist is gonna get suspicious here. The one who entered the gym, anyone who entered the gym after 5, when Tatanashi and Issei last checked on Fujita. So those would have been, yeah, so. That's really the case. It would be great help in sorting out the suspects. So Tato, right? Among Us, I'm pretty sure he entered the gym today. Who is it? Tato. It's his own account, right? So according to my thing, that's... Shimagamis, so... Yeah, this truth bullet. I didn't go to the gym, okay? I didn't. Okay. She's clear. Says... Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit him with his own bullet and see if that works. Or else I might lose health. Oh, random drifts, why? Why random drifts? Nope. Wait. That wasn't wrong, that was just a, minus some points. I didn't lose health, though. I just missed. Okay, wait till it stops moving. Okay, now continue. No. Oh, I guess that's wrong. Okay. How about you? Okay. I guess Torreira was wrong. Wait a minute. What's wrong? Have you been there too? No? It's not like that. At least one more person is likely to have gone to the gym. Is that right, Shimagami? Me? Someone left a note between visits. So you went to the... asking to visit you, right? So you went to the gym after seeing it. It certainly was. I went a little late and no one was there, so I went back to the restaurant right away, right? Yes, Tato was talking to me about the plant encyclopedia. When I saw the time just passed, when she saw that the time was just past 5:30, he was startled and suddenly left because he had to go to the gym. Okay, collaboration here. And then 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, he came back to the restaurant. My body will definitely vouch for it. Do you still have that note? Wait a minute, here it is. Come to the gym by 5:30, it's a secret from other kids. Or keep it a secret from the other kids. But her name isn't even written on it. Her, haha. Person who wrote this, who the hell is that? Oh, we know. I want to be sure, so I'm asking. Kana or Seina weren't the ones who sent this note, right? I didn't. The sky is two sides, it's not me. And who would it be? Actually, there are people who can guess. How? What? Really? Really, Issei? Why are you not saying anything? Kanachi? Wait. Chi-chan, why are you not saying anything? Eek! Well... Hasami. Princess Hasami. Hasami Ball. Hasami Ball. Kana. What is the basis for calling out Shinami? I saw her, Chi-chan, in the gym. You saw her? What time was it? Was that? Well, I checked if Yojing is okay at 5. And watched with, Okay, keep going. 5 minutes later, only I went back to the gym and saw Chi-chan one more time. Okay, so watching together with Seijing, I was watching. Okay, so Seijing is the violinist, so I was watching Fujita with the violinist, and then 5 minutes later, I went back to the gym and saw Chi-chan one more time. So she was there. Really? Okay, so she's the red herring first. Yes, Tatanashi. Really? That's right. I'll admit, I went to the gym. But I didn't write a note. How much more did I... Or... How could I write to that idiot, I guess? It can't be. I'm not an... You call me an idiot? I can't bear to take your side. It is true to some extent that, Shimagami-kun is an idiot. Okay, so it's true to some extent that Shimagami-kun is an idiot. You guys are really doing it. Have you seen him? It's because I have no reason to write him a note. Oh, it's... We're like, you see? You see, it's because I have no reason to write him a note. No. Even if I think about it, Asami, after all, you're the only one. Do you have proof? Yes, huh? Do you have proof that I wrote that note? Isn't that kind of dialogue usually a fixed line for criminals? A great detective who doesn't know the labyrinth, but the head is still small. The truth is always one. Okay, there's probably no way to translate that well, because she has so much, like, dialect in her. In the manga where that line, okay, something like that. Where's the manga? Something about a manga where that line happens. You've been watching too many dramas and cartoons. Evidence. There is evidence. Someone told me that fact. I'm thinking about it. Further description of non-stop debates. For this non-stop debate, you can express your opinion through the relevant bullet if there is a correct sentence in the discussion. Oh, should I have agrees now? The sentences that can be approved are limited to blue letters, and please consider the content of each friend's sentence and the currently loaded truth bullet. However, just because there is a sentence that can be agreed upon, the rule to refute the wrong sentence does not disappear. So please choose carefully whether to refute or agree in the future non-stop debates. Also, as before, if you shoot a truth bullet into the air instead of a yellow or blue sentence, your score will be reduced. And if you incorrectly refute the correct sentence or wrongly approve of the false sentence, your speaking power will be reduced, so please be careful. Change truth bullets, okay. So the one we use is Yozori's account, right? There we go. Namuhe. Well, I'm gonna have to agree on this one just because, like, it's just the agree tutorial. Okay, there's something I can do. Gartu Chunga. Can we, like something like, agree with something like who saw something, right? Who? Mai's line is too weird. Oh, I got it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna lose health now. Okay, I just agree with the other sentence I could agree with, which is that I can't read, which is Mai's. Hasami. I have witnesses to back up the fact that she wrote the note. Witness? Right, Yozora? Eh? Did you call me now? Yes. What's the matter? Ah, no. I was surprised that someone remembered me. It's not, anyway, what happened? Do you remember that, what you told me? About what? What you saw when you went to the health room to treat wounds. Yes, I definitely remember. The scene in front of, the private room. Hasami Kashimagami's private room around 410. What was Hasami doing at the time? She was pushing something like paper under the door. There must have been no one. We must not. Oh. Are you still going to say no? Hajiman, but why did Tato send such an? Why did you send such a note to Tato? No way to put shame on Shimagami-san. Are you serious? Seriously, you love Fujita? You love Vegeta, huh? Interesting. I don't see love in there anyway. I mean, you love Tato, you mean? Or you killed Vegeta. Why didn't I kill him? In the first place, I didn't even know he was in the gym broadcast room. It's the first time I've heard of it today. But oddly enough, the timing is right. The last time, Tatanashi and Issei confirmed that Vegeta was alive was around 5 o'clock. Currently, the hypothesis that Vegeta's time of death is about that time is strong. Then, in Mai's opinion, which is like my opinion, Asami is capable of committing the crime, right? There will be some free time after the others left, right? I don't think it's completely impossible. Aniranimga. It's really not me. Then why were you at the gym then? You have to, like, let out your secret. Looking at the situation, Hasami is capable of committing the crime. But is she really the culprit? Of course, it's true that she went to the gym, but there is a bunch of people who treat her as a criminal just because of that. The person who has the potential to shed some light on the situation. So, Kana Issei, right? Tatanashi Seina, or Rokohana Misako. Okay, let's look at the accounts. So, I don't think, here's the Seina is the account we haven't used yet, right? Issei has already been used, right? Issei thinks that someone who came up to the gym after could have done it. Kana is still the more likely. This is a hard one. I'm gonna go for Kana and probably get it wrong. Phew. Issei, may I ask you something? Yes, whatever you want. When I left the gym, or when you left the gym around 5, you saw Hasami and then said that then you went back to the gym. What was the reason you went back to the gym? It might be a bit complicated to explain in detail. To put it simply, I was to get something to talk about on today's broadcast. About what? Yes. It's a broadcast that comes back after a funk for a day. But it can't be good if the content is poor, right? Who are you trying to get that story from? I checked Yoting, okay, and saw Chi-chan on my way out, but I was just leaving and thinking about why I was in the gym, why she was in the gym alone. I wondered and went back. A great chance to get a scoop on Kanaki-chan. What kind of scoop? Stupid. Haha. Anyway, from the testimony just now, Hasami, it becomes clear that you were in the gym at that time. Yozora's testimony also revealed that you were the one who sent the note to Shimagami. Can you admit this? Yeah, something like that, but I'm not really the culprit. Issei, let me ask you one more question. When you went back to the gym, where and how was Hasami? Where or how? I mean, where was she in the gym? Loading thoughts. I remember. It was definitely leaning my back. She was definitely leaning her back against the wall by the entrance. Thank you, Issei. Just now, thanks to Issei's testimony, Asami is not the culprit. What are you talking about, Kazuki? That's right. Misako too? What the hell's going on? It's simple. If Shinami is the culprit, she says that when Kana arrives at the gym, she's leaning her back against the wall by the entrance would have been impossible. Right, she would have fled the scene or something, or be like walking out or something like that. If it had been right after she committed the crime, she would have been at the entrance to the broadcast room or near the podium. As Yurino said, it takes at least 1 minute to suffocate a person. It must have taken at least 3 minutes for her to commit the crime and clean up her tracks. And by the time Issei returned, she must have just fled the scene. Yeah, you wouldn't just stand there and lean against the. You would just lean against the wall, waiting for someone to come in, right? But Shinami was leaning against the entrance. That means she didn't commit a crime against Shinami. Oh, that means Shinami didn't commit a crime. If she didn't even know that Fujita was in there, it would be safe to say that she had no intention of committing the crime. Wait a minute. But that only assumes that the murder work was carried out in the small broadcasting room, right? What do you mean? If they did indirect murder with some kind of trick without having to go to the simple broadcasting room, the current alibi would be useless. Huh? I can't rule out the possibility that, what's the name here? Oh, dear. Hold on. Besides, we can't rule out the possibility that the statement that we did not know where Fujita was in the simple broadcasting room was a lie. True. The two were paired up. Then after all, Asami-san is the culprit. No I'm not. Indirect murder makes no sense. Why? Oh, I guess this guy is not Nagito. Nagito doesn't make mistakes like that. Point Man doesn't make mistakes like that. Even if they had installed some kind of trick, it wouldn't have been possible, at least not before 5, when Seina and Kana last checked Yosaku. Yeah, I definitely didn't see anything strange. I couldn't see, even with my sharp eyes, I couldn't see any tricks. Tatanase and Issei. Even if Issei and Tatanashi installed it after leaving the gym, it sounds like Issei completed the trick installation and cleaning up perfectly for 5 minutes before returning to the gym. Is that a good way to translate that? No, it's not. Are you sure? I mean, It's basically like if Tatanashi and Issei did it, but she wouldn't have to clean it up because there isn't any evidence that the hairstylist went into the big broadcast room or anyone else went into the broadcast room afterwards until after 7. Anyway. Then wouldn't it be more likely that Hasami, who was at the entrance, wasn't the culprit? You just clicked your tongue. For some reason I am hated. Then why did Hasami send the note? Gone. Is that embarrassing to say? Don't be stuffy. Say it in a cool way. That's right. The more you say nothing, the more you will be accused of being the culprit. You just ran away without saying anything. Yeah, so it's true I wrote that note. But what? That's frustrating. It's okay to just say it. It's not like it wears out. Yes, there. Huh? Chigami, if you don't want to talk, you don't have to. I understand everything. Because I am the super high school level dating coach. I understand what's going on here. What do you understand about Torea? No, that's this person speaking. About her. What do you understand about her? Akatsubaki. Okay. Torae. I'm just saying, it's like you to just skip about Shinami's business. Is that okay? So, what are you gonna do? No, I'll tell you. I don't know if I didn't say it now. I might get useless suspicion again later. Are you okay with that? It's nothing special, but as you say, I wrote the note. It's true that I pushed it into Shimagami's room, and why'd you call that? You? I did it because I wanted to say thank you. For saving her life, yeah. Why, that guy saved me last time. After that, I was so distracted I couldn't even say thank you properly. That's all I'm concerned about. Did you? She didn't really care, but it was fine. You care about me. More than that, it's okay because I heard you say thank you right now. That's why this story ends. Shi-chan is a tsundere. Don't call me a tsundere. It's not like that, really. Suck. Let's move on to the next one. It's more like, let's move to the next thing quickly. There were some incidents, but thanks to that, Shinami was completely clear to suspicion. That's fortunate, but I still don't know who the culprit is. Chum-chak. Ending the story on your own? Aren't you guys trying to get it over a little sloppily? What are you talking about, curly hair? Do you still doubt me? Of course I'm suspicious. Isn't this such a trial? We haven't considered one possibility yet. If it fits, they're quite capable of committing the crime. You bastard, now you suddenly hit the cradle and... Whoa! Okay, I'll read off what Google Translate said this was because it's funny, but this is probably a terrible translation. You bastard, now you suddenly hit the cradle and fuck. Okay, I don't know what it's supposed to be. Now you suddenly hit the candle. Okay. Let's try another machine translation. That a-hole, all of a sudden he's striking a candle in the dark. Okay, so basically, he's accusing him of just kind of coming out with something out of nowhere. Or taking shots in the dark. Okay. A guy who hasn't even considered the worst possibility should shut up. Nah. Don't growl too much. The story from now on is a matter of that must be pointed out, even if the development of the trial well, something about. Okay. Oops. Hold on. I'm hitting the E5 key instead of control. That even in this... So it's translating it, the story from now on is a matter that must be pointed out even in the development of the trial that will follow. But that doesn't make sense. That sentence doesn't make sense. And the statement I'm about to make is important to keep in mind as the trial unfolds. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Do you have to point it out? An accomplice theory. Huh? An accomplice theory? You know, I have to go through all the potential, possibilities. The decisive factor in clearing that woman of suspicion just now was her testimony that she was not standing in the gym's broadcasting room. But what if the testimony itself was a lie? What if those two concocted a play to deceive us? Don't laugh. That actually is what it says, don't laugh. Then why did he leave a note for why did she leave a note for Shimagami? It might have been the intention to accuse him of being the culprit. However, in this case, that guy went to the gym and saw no one there, so he went straight back to the restaurant. So that would have been impossible. Because he showed up late. His mouth is pierced by me, and he's taking it so well. I can't completely deny that possibility. If you're an accomplice, the scenario just now is quite possible. Why me? Hey, Monokuma, how are you? Oh. Why, are you guys talking to me? This is a class trial. It's a problem for you guys to figure out. It's not like that. But if we all die here, wouldn't that be no fun for you? If all of us were just killed in the first game, I think it would be pretty futile. That's for sure, though. What should I do? Okay. This is the first time you guys have a class trial, and game companies always give special privilege to pre-register games for new subscribers, right? I'm gonna say that this is the answer. This is it, and answer it. First of all, I will explain the handling of accomplices in the class trial. In all cases, the presence of accomplices is possible. The only thing the one to congratulate is the one black person who is an executive criminal. Does that mean the accomplices are not given any merit? That's right. This is always confusing because at one point he says the one who actually does the thing, who does the blow, is the blackened. But then later on in a later game he said, in this case I decide that it's going to be the mastermind behind the whole thing. Whoever was behind the whole plan. But this time, the culprit caused the incident without knowing the rules. There could be enough accomplices. That's the part. Oh. To put it bluntly, there is no person who intentionally cooperated with the perpetrator in this case. That is an accomplice. I, the head of the academy, will guarantee it. Is that so? It seems that the rumors of complicity are meaningless, Shosho. I guess that's how it is. I don't feel particularly sorry. What? Both of you calm down. Misunderstanding cleared up, right? But that guy... Okay. I'll stop. Even though it is a situation where there's nothing to lose by being suspicious, Shoujo's attitude just now clearly had a rough corner. Or rough edge. To the point where it seems like he's intentionally causing trouble. Am I being too sensitive? Yes, he's stirring the poop. I'm glad Seina... What? Oh. I'm glad that Shinami was cleared of the charges, but in the end she returned to her previous state. Huh? What about it? I have no choice but to arrange everyone's alibi once again. No, I don't think that's necessary, because we have the prime suspect. Is he gonna accuse another wrong person? This predates V3. Like, sometimes it's like Byakuya who just barks up all the wrong trees. And sometimes it's like Nagito who knows the answer and like Mike just is messing around. They haven't... There might not be a model... Like, they can't come up with the same idea as V3 where they have like Kokichi, where he just like accuses people, but he knows they're not the culprit. He just accuses people because it's fun. Prime suspect. Yes, someone who knew where Fujita was, could afford to stun and suffocate him and erase their tracks, and was able to commit the crime in enough time. There's one left, right? Who the hell are you talking about? Who is such a person? Ba ba ba! Prepare to get it! That none of the people who went to the gym could afford that. Oh. Wait. Uh-oh. No, there was still someone. As Sayoru said, a series of crimes were possible, and a person who was sufficiently suspicious even in time. There's a person who's sufficiently suspicious even in time. But did he really say that? Huh? Oh, did he really say that? Oh no, wait. Why did he really say that is what's going on here. Well, take it. I haven't been to the gym once since 5 o'clock. She hasn't been to the gym once since 5 o'clock when Fujita was last seen alive. Wouldn't it be hard for her to see? Wouldn't it be hard to see if she was the culprit? Huh? It's not her? No. Someone who... What? You have to get onto her at some point because we have to use the truth bullet for the rosin. That truth bullet has to be used. Am I just going at her too early? Who went to the gym? Fine, we have to accuse Kana. But why do we have to accuse Kana? She didn't do it. This is stupid. Fine. Fine. You say. Are you talking about her? Eh? You're smarter than you look. Yes, it would be possible for her. Why am I a suspect? Tell me something, Watanabe. Why do you suspect I killed Yoting? What is everyone doing? Why are they all looking at me like that? Hey, answer me. Someone please answer me. No, stop debate. Do I get my health back? I'll save in 16, I guess. Okay, review the truth bullets. Just keep going. A heavy silence continued. Everyone suspiciously gazed towards someone, and one friend who was confused by that gaze. Hey, why is everyone looking at me like that? What did I do? From the current atmosphere, it seems that everyone understands why you are named a suspect. It's not me. Now we're gonna get into the Archer's testimony and stuff. Right, Seijin? Well, I can't do that. She doesn't want to cover for her. She's gonna throw her under the bus. Kachuki! Say something! Say something! Yukari too! It's not really my fault! I hate to admit it. We found Fujita's body and a terrified Issei. It's hard to believe that she was brave enough to kill Fujita. But this is an emotional judgment to the last. Huh. In my head, the reason why she could be a suspect has already begun to emerge one by reasons why she could be a suspect is already about beginning to emerge one by one. In the end, there is only one thing I can say to her desperately crying out. Sorry. Sorry about what? I don't want to hear that he's sorry. Please, why would I kill Yoting? Why would I? There's no reason for me to do that. Yes, some motive. We have all seen already. Have you already forgotten? Oh, yes. Sure, that video that Monokuma showed it in the Community Life Core Discovery broadcast. Okay, I have to translate these things individually. So, gong dong. Say... Car. Communal life. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Siche. Bar. Come on. Yan. Bongs. Song. The body is discovered broadcast. No, that's not it. It has to be the third option. Whatever that is, because the other two aren't it. Okay. You mean that video Monokuma showed you? Yes, Issei was the most affected by it. Yes, as he said, at least in this case, the excuse that there is no motive to commit the crime doesn't work. And we all watched a shocking video that made us want to go outside even if we had to kill someone, and this is very likely to lead to motivation. Given the circumstances, there are plenty of reason to accuse her. Hey, I still don't understand. What's the situation? Can someone give me an easy explanation? The reason why circumstantial charges can be returned to Kane. First of all, the first one was a video that was shown by Monokuma, one of the people who stopped by the broadcasting gym. What? Oh. So let's realize the text, okay. I'll have to mess with these. Oh, I can grab them individually here. First option is broadcast performance. Second option is one who stopped by the gym. Last is video shown by Monokuma. So the reason why circumstantial charges can be returned. The reason why returned would be video by Monokuma. Oh, that's not what they wanted me to use, though. The video to show me it's just a motive. It's hard to see Issei as the culprit. Oh. I guess the circumstance one? Went to the gym? Okay. I'm down to 1 heart. And another reason. Fujita's survival. Confirmation. What? Delayed broadcasts. And body discovery meeting. I guess I'm gonna say delayed broadcast. Just make sure that this is that. The time when the broadcast should have started, and the empty time until the body was found. That's why Issei was suspicious. Right, she would have just reported it. I happened to be sitting in the restaurant at that time, so I remember it very well. The broadcast was supposed to start 7 o'clock. Okay, I was right. It's supposed to be 7 o'clock. It was delayed 20 minutes for some reason. If all the crime techniques we discussed so far are correct, 20 minutes is enough time for the criminal to commit a series of crimes and clean up the mess. Does this appear in Cho Chong's mystery novels? A trick like saying that the first discoverer was actually the culprit? You mean self-reporting? Or something? If that... So you're going to say she's self-reported. In this case... Oh, isn't that a case in the mystery novels? Not Shoujo's. This is his name. In this case, this time is also such a case. I think the possibility she committed the crime is quite high. I'm sorry, Issei. Are you really like that? If it was, then you really are the worst person to kill that guy who did his best for everyone. I don't know why they do that in Danganronpa. It doesn't matter who you kill. Because the Blackened, like, in order for them to get out, everybody else also has to be executed too. It doesn't matter which one they pick to kill. Right? It doesn't make it any worse if they pick one person, killed one person over the other. The Blackened's intention always has to be to kill everybody. So it's always best to kill the person who's most likely to figure out it was you. You just kill the smartest one. And that doesn't really isolate you because everybody else would kill the smartest one. You killed Kirigiri. Ha. Ha ha. After. Huh. Ha. Okay, is she really gonna do a breakdown? That's stupid. Why was there rosin on the button? You can't ever just break down if there's rosin on the button. It's an undeniable fact that Issei is the most likely suspect in the situation. But am I really okay with that? That can't be! The rosin! Issei, despairing at being framed as a criminal like that, wouldn't have killed her close friend Fujita. I can't imagine it at all. I'm looking at all the possibilities that I might have missed. If it's you, you can do it, Kazuki. Oh, they're gonna do the whole battle thing with swords? Oh, okay. With 1 health, I'm gonna get a game over. Oh well, I expected that to happen because, you know, it's Korean. What am I supposed to do? How come you don't like my guess? I never said I didn't like it. Or I didn't think it was good. Then is it difficult to understand? Well, it doesn't matter either way. I was bored throughout the trial. I need to hang out with you for a while. Well, we're in a situation where she is I'm dubious, but I have to do my best, or something like that. For Issei. No, not just for her sake, but for everyone. Yes, I'd like an explanation of this thing, which I will lose at. And the rebuttal showdown begins. Sword-shaped bullets are loaded, just like the non-stop meeting. Afterwards, the arguments of the other party are requested a counter-argument appear here and there on the screen, and at this time, you must press the left, right, up, and down arrows keys to cut them. If you don't press the arrow keys, or if you press the arrow keys incorrectly and fail to break the opponent's argument, the dominance of the debate gradually works in your opponent's favor. If you do not reach the vertical line, which is the large target value, and lose the advantage in debate to the other party, you enter into a confrontation, in which you spam! If you are successfully cut the other person's argument or won the confrontation, raise your argument and enter the rebuttal time to exchange the opponent's argument again. At this time, during the argument to the other party, as is the non-stop meeting, the yellow letter, a refusal point, is exposed. Find the appropriate refusal point and cut it with a sword-shaped horse truth bullet to clear it. Claims that appear horizontally can be pressed by pressing the up and down keys, and claims that appear vertically can be cut by pressing the left and right arrow keys. Also, as in the non-stop debate, you can press the shift key to change the truth bullet. I keep like reading it off and about to say horse bullet. And press the decision key to cut the like rebuttal point. So which truth bullet will you use to rebuttal what he's saying, right? Like, Tato's account? Maybe. Let the thing where you will get a game over begin. Which truth bullet would I use? The dead CD player. Oh. Student handbook. Dead CD player. Oh. Huh. I couldn't break his argument. Did he say really the culprit like he said? Okay, let's just try different bullets. Too early to conclude. The dead CD player doesn't really do anything in this case, right? It can't be the right thing. Let's try this one. Oh. Oh, okay. Didn't get a game over yet. Yay! I have no idea what was said, but it is. This evidence will prove Issei's innocence. Really, Kajuki? What is that? Before that, I have a few questions for you. Issei, are you okay? I don't really like it since no one believes me like the class trial, whatever happens now. No one will believe me in this class trial. Issei, I want to help you. To be honest, I was skeptical too. But after all, I can't believe you are the culprit who killed Fujita. So, answer me honestly, please. Yes. Thank you. It's not that hard of a question. Why were you late for the scheduled broadcast this evening? I woke up from my sleep. Before my broadcast, I was lying on the bed thinking I should take a breather to clear my mind, but I fell asleep before I knew it. When I opened my eyes, a lot of time had passed, and I hurriedly headed to the broadcasting room. Is there anyone who can prove that? Yes. I fell asleep by myself, so I don't have one. Then after all, isn't there an alibi? It's only because of that you only solidify your suspicions. No, there's someone to prove it. Yes. Before I fell asleep in my room, I remembered someone who could prove my alibi for being late to the show. Yes, Hayamoto? Okay, that was probably not... Okay, so it should be, you fell asleep in your room, and I thought of someone to prove your alibi for being late to the broadcast, yes? Okay. Hayamoto. And Hayamoto's like, have you seen my sewing? Huh? What? They don't know each other. Talk openly. We don't know each other. Talk openly. Oh. Sewing. Actually, while washing clothes, I saw Issei Dono jumping out of her private room. What time was that? When I checked when my clothes, while hanging them on the clothesline, the clock was around 7:15. When I checked. If you have any doubts, go to the laundromat and check. Oh, did she have clothes? 7:15. The time of discovery of Fujita's body was 7:20, the time she screamed. If, as she claimed, I realized I was late and ran to the gym, the time to commit the crime is too short. Running from the private room to the gym in 5 minutes to stun Yosaku and suffocate him is not possible. That guy doesn't seem to have that much stamina. Or, besides, that girl doesn't seem to have that much stamina. She has plenty of stamina. But, like, I don't know why the people can't think that no one went there in, like, that window. But anyway, like, between 5 and 7. Someone had to go in that window. Are you still going to doubt, Issei? Still. Why? Although her alibi seems to have been proven, doubts still remain. What if she had committed the murder before, after 7? The extended time when she returned to her room could be sometime after the time she left the gym with Chinami. Then, there was a gap of more than an hour between that time and the time the body was found. Do we not consider the possibility... Oh yeah, between 5:35 and 7. Possibility that she committed the crime in the meantime without realizing it? What? Do we not consider the possibility that she committed the crime in the meantime without us realizing it? No, that's probably not the case. On what basis? My full name is Counselor. How much do you know about human psychology? Speaking of Kana's current situation as a counselor, no matter how you look at it, she doesn't look like someone who would kill people, like a killing person. But in the end, that's how you feel. It may not be an opinion as a counselor, but it cannot be evidence. There's more besides that. What? According to that, all of us who have no alibi other than Kana will be on the line of crime. Right, if it's in that window, anybody could have done it. The specific reason why you suspected Kana is because she had the opportunity, right? Between 7 and 7:20. If we go into the window between 5:35 and 7, then anybody could have done it. We just open it back up again. That is Asayoru, who didn't try to hang out with us at all. Oh. That means Asayoru, who didn't hang out with us at all. It means that you, too, are capable of committing the crime. Yeah, another interesting comment. Of course, in the sense that I was wrong. There was a sense in which I was wrong. I don't like you either. I'll beat you up someday. Stop it. Fighting here is pointless. So, is that your only proof? The fact that we can all be criminals? Unfortunately, it still exists. Issei herself testified that she overslept immediately after returning to her room, and as soon as she woke up, she realized that she was late for the evening broadcast and hurriedly headed to the simple broadcasting room. And Hayamoto proved that fact. I'm asking just in case, Hayamoto, wasn't it just a coincidence that you saw Issei? That's right. Soin only happened to witness Issei. If Issei was the culprit, she would have concocted a more perfect alibi by somehow having witnesses. I think Issei has a basis to prove her innocence with us. How is it, Asayoru? Are you still going to doubt Issei? I guess I was pushed back. I admit, it's my loss. A naughty bastard. To say that Asayoru of the world, say that Asayoru admits defeat, or whatever. Or to put it in other words. Asayoru admits defeat. It's a scene that I don't think I'll ever see again. Huh? Oh. Okay, she's talking about Asayoru backing down. Then since you've cleared the game, there should be prizes, right? Asayoru throws something at me. I hurriedly stretch out my hand, and a strange object floats upon my hand. What's this? Blood on a... I don't even know what that is. The picture isn't clear enough. What did you get? A zipper. Is this that... There's even blood on it. Broken zipper. Truth bullet. I found it on the floor of the broadcasting room. Is that the zipper that's like zips closed the violin case? You could say it out loud, but I would like you to refrain from making comments that could incite trouble. Oh, I could say it out loud, but... Huh. About a broken zipper? Asayoru shrugs his shoulders and closes his eyes. It was an attitude that seemed like an unspoken self-assertion that he would no longer be involved in this matter. Takahara. What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? Leave it to me. I'll beat him up until he dies later. It's like the whole, like, one of them comes saying, we'll kill him until he dies from it. I'll put aside trivial issues like, Asayoru-kun's treatment for now. Decisions on what will come after surviving, surviving this class trial. Even though the trial went on like this, I still can't even see the outline of the real culprit. Maya's in trouble right now. Maybe there's something in the zipper Asayoru gave you. Good question, Mikihiko. I am Pet-chan. Sorry. You said there are bloodstains on the zipper. If so, wouldn't it be related to a weapon? That's right. Oh, she whacked him on the head with her violin case and the zipper came off. Does anyone know about this zipper? It's the first time I've seen it. Liar. Even I have not, even Soin has never seen such a zipper. It wasn't in my jumper. No way. It's fortunate that, my Namdamim gate is running well. I guess I'll have to put off talking about the zipper until later. Everyone's talking about, like, their pants. That's right. As of now, nobody seems to know. Let's talk about the time of time of death. Why don't we talk about the time of death? It's alright, it's fine. Is that right? Looking at their reaction, it seems that there's something wrong. Where did this twist come from? Is there no evidence to determine the important time of death? It's difficult. There is only one thing I could be sure of. What? He was alive at least until 5 o'clock. Seichin, who went in with me, confirmed it, so I'm sure. Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. What? Issei, a moment ago, what did you say? A moment ago? What I said while talking about the time to what you said when talking about the time to be sure that Fujita was still alive. I'll ask you one more time. So he was alive until 5 o'clock. I'm sure because Seichin went with me to confirm it. Right, but we don't know if he was alive at 5:30. Huh? Oh, Seichin went in with me to confirm it. But she didn't go with you to confirm it at 5:30. What was it? The true identity of the sense of incongruity I felt until now. Was this it? Ah. Misako seems to have noticed it too. A possibility flashed through my mind for a moment. If that hypothesis is correct, most of the problems in the crime will be solved. But that was, is that right? Is that really the culprit? Are we finally going to be able to nail her? Yes! Could it be that you are like that? That you are that? Huh? Me? Instead of just saying like it's yes? I'm asking if you were the culprit who killed Fujita. Please don't joke like that. If it's such a bad joke, even I'm angry. Accusing people as criminals without evidence is... I don't know the evidence. But if it's a suspicion... But if it's suspicion, it just came out. If there's suspicion, it just came out. Musen. Do you remember what Kana said just now? I'm sure of it because Seijin, who went with me, confirmed it. Right? Did you guys feel anything after listening to it? No one was there? It was just the two of you that went and checked? There's nothing strange about it. Huh? This... Some people seem to have noticed. Yes, there's a bit of a strange part in what Kana just said. Isn't that right, Kazuki? Okay. Who did you go to check on? You went together. Oh, she was there to confirm. What? Wait a second. Okay. So the first thing is... Who did you go to check? The person you went with. Or who checked? Yeah, it's who checked, because she would have like, oh yeah, he's okay, and he's not. She just lied, right? So it's got to be the who checked. It's the last one. I might have skipped it if I just heard it, but right, if you heard it briefly, if you just passed through it, if you just got thrown at you. According to Issei, it means that Tatanashi was the only person who confirmed Fujita's condition. Kana. Was Seina the only one who checked Roku? Or is the only one who checked? Between you and... I didn't really like the cold, but I waited by the door except once. Seijin did all the checking, but is there any problem with that? It's an important matter. It means that the only person who knew about Yosaku's condition was Seina. So what's the problem with that? What if Seina's lying to us? A lie? If Seina was the culprit and Yosaku was dead, he purposely planted the perception that he's still okay. All the questions about the time of death discussed have been resolved. Until now, we have been estimating the time of death based on the testimonies of Mrs. Tatanashi and Miss Issei. If the basic information is wrong from the beginning, it is natural that no answer will come out. Or the wrong answer will come out. Wait a minute, what the hell are you talking about? Where is the need for Seijin to lie to us? Well, she did a murder. Is, that video. I don't mean that. You don't mean that. Seijin can't be the culprit, so why should he need to lie to us? Say something, Seijin. It's just as Kana said, I am not a criminal. To accuse someone of being a criminal without any evidence. I didn't kill Mr. Yosaku. I'll prove from now on that I'm not the culprit. Oh, well, no. Okay, we have... Okay, Issei and Seina together's testimony. That... We have... Monokuma file. Which one's that? Oh, the air conditioner. Okay. So, probably the air conditioner. Okay, I have to, take shards in the dark here. Whoops. I would actually got the first statement. Nope, that's wrong. Okay, I get game over. It was already proven that Tatanashi and Issei confirmed for... Okay. Well, I lose. Is this how it ends? Watanabe-kun, have you lost your will to judge? If you want to give up, I won't stop you. From the standpoint of Judge Monokuma, those who do not actively participate in the trial will be in a bit of trouble. Do you want to try again? Can I really give up? Okay, I'll hit try again. Well chosen. Class trials are meaningful only when everyone participates. Okay. Oh. I don't get my health back, apparently. Oh, that's the wrong one? Okay. So you don't get your health back in this. If you could try again, but you try again it perpetually with 1 health. Oh, I didn't read the thing afterwards to say why I was wrong. Oh well. Let's try agreeing with... Oh! Okay. Third guess worked. Listening to what, Yozora said, questions still remain. The question still remains, or the question, something like that. Do you mean that... I got it right? Haha. Haha. Well, that is a strange thing. It's an air conditioner. As anybody who went for an investigation would know, it's extremely cold inside the broadcasting room because the air conditioner was running at the lowest temperature. The moment I walked in, it was so cold that the chicken meat started to sprout. It was to the point where I thought I might catch a cold if I stayed too long. Because of the conservation of the site, it can't be turned off. It was very difficult. But isn't it a bit strange to stay in such a cold broadcasting room all day? Isn't it just that the air conditioner was turned off in the middle and turned on again? That's not it. A little while ago, Issei clearly said I hated the cold, so I watched from the door. In other words, the air conditioner had been running at least before Issei and Tatanashi went in to check it for the first time. But in such a cold environment, Fujita didn't move even once. Which means he was dead all day. Let me know, Tatanashi, let me know if you have any objections. I still don't believe you are the culprit. The air conditioner could be turned off, is it? Could not be turned off, is it? I think that's probably right. Then really, Tatanashi, you... But that's for a different reason, not because Yosaku-san died. Have you already forgotten Yusaku-san's concentration mode? Ah. You mean the one that came out in the beginning of the trial? A strange skill that he does not move for several hours? And gets fat? Mr. Yosaku often listens to music and gets lost in his own world. But his music was broken though! When he's in that state, no matter how much stimulation I gave him from the side, he didn't respond. Until, Miss Watanabe started screaming directly into his ear. Kana and I shook him vigorously. Watched it and shouted at it, but there was no response. Watched him and shouted at it, but there was no response. I think Watanabe-san, you woke Yosaku-san himself. Who woke Yosaku-san himself would know better. Yes, I know. Then if Yosaku-san had been in a concentration mode in the broadcasting room since the broadcast ended this morning, it's only natural that he can't turn off the air conditioner. I haven't been to the gym since I made sure that Mr. Yosaku was alright at 5 o'clock. For that reason, I am unable to commit a crime. Yes, you went there before then. There's so many things wrong here. Did you understand now why I can't be the culprit? Tatanashi's innocence. It may be true. But I don't have to doubt her anymore. Maybe I don't have to suffer. But he wasn't in concentration mode. The music was broken. The CD player was broken. Wait. What is concentration mode? When her testimony just now, her testimony just now is somehow strange. The reason why the Tatanashi's concentration mode testimony is strange. Bingo. Let me ask you again, Fujita. Fujita, he was really in concentration mode, right? Yes, I'm sure. What is the basis for being so sure? No matter how much I touched him, he didn't respond, and I could hear music vaguely from the headphones. Is it true the sound of music came out? Well, I don't know why, but it's true. I heard it right next to me, so I'm sure. I don't know why. It's probably like, I don't know why you're doubting me. Would you like to look at this for a second? This is the CD player. That he was listening to, Fujita was listening to when he died. He was obsessed with it. Oh, it's broken. He's just, not as obsessed with it, it's broken. Broken, it looks fine. It looks fine on the outside, but I wonder if the parts inside are broken. It didn't play even though the power came on like this. Of course, the music wasn't playing either. Didn't it break while fighting with, Kana? That's probably not it. Oh. Didn't it break while fighting with the culprit, you mean? Yeah, well, didn't it break while fighting the culprit? That's probably not it. No signs of physical fight were found at the scene. It was probably broken the first day of the broadcast. Second day of the broadcast, the third day of the broadcast. It's the first day of the broadcast. Wasn't it the first day of the broadcast? Besides, there was that time when Issei and Fujita were bickering during the broadcast. At that time, that was just a comic joke. But that wasn't just a comic joke, but a real beating? I didn't really hit him. I just pretended to hit him, to give the performance a sense of thrill, but Yuching made a loud reaction and fell off the chair, making a loud noise. Did you say that the CD player broke when it fell to the floor? Did you see or say? The CD player is a machine with weak durability. As you just said, Fujita has a habit of listening to music when he goes in concentration mode. But to concentrate while listening to the music you've always listened to, it doesn't make sense. Without listening to the music you've always listened to, it doesn't make sense. But I also checked what he was concentrating on. What? How? He was definitely wearing headphones, so at that time, Yoching must have been concentrating. Did you go and check it yourself? No, but... They could have just put them on his head. No, that's not it, but... If it's not right to go up to him and check, I'm sorry, but the mere fact that he was wearing headphones is a proof of Saida's innocence. Huh? Let's stop admitting it now, Tatanashi. All the evidence is already out. Oh. Let's start admitting it now. Admitting it. Is it really you? Are you really like that? Why the hell are you like that? You and Fujita, weren't you friends? No. No. I killed Yusaku-san, it can't be. A lot of evidence is already pointing at you. No, I can still object. I can still do it. Tatanashi? Just load them all up, whatever. Okay. Which one more likely to be? So that's the cables on the floor. CD player's broken. We already used that. Which one is this? That's a testimony, right? Okay, someone's testimony. We already used it, probably. Hayamoto's testimony. Yes, Archer's testimony. Tatanasi's testimony. Yokari's testimony. Yojora's testimony. We used that. Powder. Okay. Changmarya? Really? Okay, we're gonna put white powder on something. Let's try this. Whoops. CD player. Nope, that was wrong. Okay, but how was I wrong? Tatanashi has definitely been by our side since the morning broadcast. I don't think I can dispute this point. Oh, okay. So dispute the other one. Yeah, one heart problems. Keep going. No consequences of failure. Okay. Let's try refuting this one. Takahashi's words cannot be refuted with this evidence. Okay, I have to figure out what words those were. Okay. So that's the correct thing to refute on. We need to figure out which to refute it with. So what's she saying there? Oh, this is gonna make this easy. I'm gonna cheat. Ready to cheat? This is so cheating. I'm cheating so hard here. Okay. I just clicked out to a different window. Ah, this is dirty. Okay. Go. Cha. Gotta enjoy my non-stop debate music, which is actually really good. And fitting to what it's supposed to be for. I fixed it. Okay. So he's broken CD player, you didn't fix it. Okay, fine. So let's shift this. Okay. Huh? Can't be refuted with this evidence. Oh, okay, great. Okay, I have to go through the game over thing again. Game overed again. So saying his own testimony, right? Yes. This, right here. I had to fast forward through it somehow now. Okay, you're not good with machines, right? You couldn't have fixed it because you're not good with machines, so we're gonna say. Well, I just failed, basically. Won't you stop lying now? I'm lying. When I investigated, I asked Asayoru. Asayoru asked if you ever touched the broadcast device, right? Do you remember what you said back then? So Asayoru says, when we broadcast until now, did Fujita do all the preparations by himself? Have you ever helped? I don't know how to handle the machine itself. I never touched a broadcast device. I don't need to hear anymore because I got the answer I wanted. And when did it get? I mean... Obviously, Tatanashi, you testify that you don't know how to handle the machine itself. That you fixed the CD player, that doesn't make sense. And it was also broken when they found it, which makes better refute, but whatever. At that time, words just come out of nowhere. I have experience fixing a CD player in the past. Is that right? Seijin comes from a prosperous family, so she might have learned the art of fixing a CD player. What kind of absurd logic is that? Good. I like it. What else about you not like it? What after saying good? Let's concede 100 times and say it's true that Tatanashi, you fixed the CD player. Then, is the testimony that you said at the time that you had never touched a broadcast device true? Yes, it's true. That's strange. Broadcast equipment had things that it shouldn't have. What shouldn't it have had? That... What was buried? What was in the equipment in the broadcast in the broadcasting room? The rosin. There we go. This white powder. White powder was smeared on the control buttons on the broadcasting device next to Fujita. I didn't know what it was at first, but now I think I know what it is. Song white fine powder. It is applied to the strings of a violin and rubbed to make the sound accurate and smooth, right? Rosin. Oh, she said pine powder. Yeah, pine. Misako said rosin, but it came out as pine powder in the from Google Translate, which is accurate but misleading. Yes, that's right. It's fake, but I can smell pine trees too. Really? Didn't I say this is a... Say this in the... Didn't you... I see... What, didn't you say this in the restaurant before? You said I usually touch and check before playing. If you have never touched a broadcast machine before, can you explain why the broadcasting machine at the site is covered with rosin powder? That's... Are you going to make a nonsensical excuse? That your words were in vain? You shut up. Normally, Fujita would have tampered with the broadcasting equipment, so there was no reason for the rosin powder to be smeared. But the fact is that it was smeared. I would have used it, right? Fujita would have used it. Fujita may have been already unable to move. But the rosin powder was only on the power button. He could have just asked Seiyina to press the power button. If Seiyina really murdered Yosaku, I would have been setting up the morning broadcast by she would have been setting up the morning broadcast by herself. So not only the power button, but also the broadcasting equipment would have covered in rosin powder. No, he had already figured out. Fujita waited until he set it to a certain extent and then killed it. And then, she waited until he set it to a certain extent and then killed him. Assuming that the real culprit is Seiyina, if we guess the time of death, Seiyina's alibi after the morning broadcast is perfect. This we all agree. Then you can be alone with Yosaku, the only time you can avoid our eyes. It turns out that the morning broadcast time is... It's like that. How about it, Tatanashi? Do you have anything to object to? Okay, it turns out, it seems like the morning broadcast time it is. The zipper. We gotta use the zipper. There doesn't seem to be an objection. There's going to be an objection because we need the zipper. It seems there is none. Okay. Tatanashi, really? You? I don't want to convince you this situation. Huh. Or maybe it's I'm convinced. I don't want to be convinced. In this situation, ... Okay. That's what the interpreter is saying. Looking at Tatanashi's complexion turning white in an instant, I felt it. This is the truth. Now it's really over. With this... Don't laugh. This... There's no way she is the culprit. Absolutely not. Aren't you all misunderstanding something? Misunderstanding is a matter of reason. A joke is only a joke if it's good enough. Stop it. She herself is keeping her mouth shut, but why are you making a fuss? It's noisy. Tareya, don't say what you don't know anything about. You don't know anything about Seina. Everyone else is crazy. What are you doing to my dear friend? Issei? Issei will protect... Oh, I will protect her. Seina is not guilty, so I'll keep it. I'll keep trying. If I can't convince you all, I can never treat I have to convince you all, I can never treat Seina as a criminal. Or even... Something like, even if I can't convince you... If you can't convince me... Okay. You can't... It's more like, you can't convince me. I will never treat Seina as a criminal. My heart aches. It's not that I don't know the feelings of Issei. Rather, I want to deny this reality right now. But if that's the case... Kachuki... Yukari... How did things come to this point? I don't even know if I have cancer anymore. That's true, I don't either. I don't know what exactly it was supposed to translate to, but I think cancer is sufficient. I'm okay with cancer. It wasn't just Yukari, everyone's face is so messed up. Unable to find a place to go any further, a sign of despair was evident. Still, I have to do it. If it turns away from... If I turn away here, it will all stop here in the form of death. We must stop that kind of thing. Evidence that can convince Issei. Let's show it. And that's it. Would you like a tutorial on panic talk action? Sure. I heard this is absolutely terrible in the original Trigger Happy Havoc. We'll see if it's terrible here in this RPG Maker game. When the panic talk action begins, the opponent is surrounded by a shield of the soul, and the rhythm bar appears at the bottom. Soon after, a song will play, and the final goal is to destroy the opponent's claim and the shield of the soul by pressing the rhythm note that appears according to the song's tempo with the decision key at the correct timing. If you fail to destroy the opponent's caption in time, it will be a reason for deducting points. So please complete the game successfully by matching the rhythm notes with the correct timing. However, missed rhythm notes are not a special reason for deduction. If you have destroyed all the shields of the soul, the other party will make the final argument. So you can hit every other one. Is a good way to do it. At this time, just like the non-stop debate, press the decision key to refute the argument. Then let the panic talk action begin. So we're going to use I presume we're going to use the zipper, because it's going to be the violin case zipper, right? Okay, what is the spacebar? Ooh! Why am I doing this lefty? Okay, I don't know which one's the zipper. Oh, I only have one. Okay, zipper. Which is actually easy to read because it's jippa in Korean. So at least I can get the zipper one. The broken zipper that Sayoru found is Tatanashi's zipper. Why is it Seina's? After receiving the zipper, I pondered throughout the class trial. Even in the current situation when Tatanashi is the culprit, where the hell did the zipper come from? I think it might be a violin case. Tatanashi! Indeed. The weapon that struck and bruised the back of the head of Fujita could not be found anywhere, including in the simple broadcast room. Or in the primitive broadcast room. If the murderer kept carrying the weapon on her body, it's only natural that we wouldn't be able to find it. Can you show me your violin case? That if you're going to come up with an excuse, you'll have to convince him where and how you broke the zipper and why there's blood on it. I can't believe it. Really? Seina is the culprit? Then once again, I'll try to organize the case from the beginning. Oh no, I have to do this now. Explanation? Yes, I want an explanation about how to do this. When the climax reasoning begins, a certain number of panels appear below, along with a cartoon showing the flow of events on the screen. There are blank spaces in the comics, and the final goal is to insert appropriate scene panels in those blank spaces. When you put the cursor on top of each panel and press the Q key, a description and hint of the scene will appear on the screen. Also, you can move the panel by pressing the decision key. You can also move the comic page by placing the cursor on either side of the screen and pressing the decision key. This is going to be really complicated. Climax Mystery has no time limit for point deduction, so please enjoy it slowly and comfortably. The climax reasoning begins. Oh, they put a time limit on it in the Danganronpa 2, I think. Oh. Okay. Okay, so culprit. I presume this one. Huh. How is this not what goes there? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, it goes backwards because it's like Japanese. This goes there. Okay. RPG Maker problems. Okay. Choke him. Let's put the headphones on, start playing music. What? I guess that's wrong.
Well, is there a way to get more of these? I guess not yet. This one goes here. Yeah. Okay, now I get another batch. Here we go. On the day of the incident, as usual, Fujita and the culprit headed to the simple broadcasting room in the gym for the morning broadcast. After After the culprit arrived at the broadcasting room, Fujita sat down in a chair and started operating the broadcast equipment. Since Fujita is an expert in this kind of thing, the culprit must have been watching from behind while Fujita operated the machine to some extent. And when the moment of operation is almost finished, Fujita was attacked from behind by a criminal, hit in the head, and passed out. The weapon that hit Fujita's head must have been a violin case. The shock caused the zipper from with Fujita's blood on it to fall off the case. The case was usually double zippered, so there was no problem in storing the violin. By the time the morning airing is getting closer and closer. Also, it's like the tag on the zipper. It's not the actual zipper body itself. I have multiple bags and stuff where that part's broken off, but you can still kind of pinch the zipper and move it. The zipper in question was luckily found by Asayori during the investigation, or unluckily because he's not very forthcoming. Decided to make it interesting for the sake of drama. The culprit strangles and kills the fainting Fujita with a cable in the broadcasting room. Or the fainted Fujita. The culprit boldly started broadcasting in that state. Oh. Fujita finished manipulating the machine just before the crime, so it must have been a simple enough thing that even the criminal who couldn't handle the machine could just press the power button. However, the culprit had a habit of touching the bow with her fingertips before playing the violin to check if the rosin powder was properly applied. Touching the broadcasting device in that state, and the power button was covered with white rosin powder. The culprit must have been quite distracted. She commits a murder, loses her zipper, and also has to successfully complete the broadcast for her alibi. As if reflecting her psychological state, a lot of evidence came out at the scene. After successfully broadcasting the needle, or the stream, the criminal begins manipulating the crime scene to make us mistake the time of Fujita's death. First, turn on the air conditioner in the room. After putting headphones on, Fujita turned on the CD player that was connected, just like Fujita went into concentration mode. But there was one thing the culprit didn't notice. The player was already broken during during the happening on the first day of the broadcast only confirmed that everyone had entered, and the culprit only confirmed that the power to it was on. And the culprit left the gym. The culprit returns to the cafeteria casually and says she deliberately goes to check out Fujida's condition to make up her own alibi. She chose Issei as someone who would accompany her and be a witness. And Issei went to the simple broadcasting room to check Fujida's body every two... She and Issei went to the simple broadcasting room to check Fujida's body every 2 hours. Leaving Issei, who was weak in the cold, outside, the culprit tricked Issei, who had already died, into thinking that he was alive, and made the situation known as Fujita is still safe. Issei also knew that when Fujita put on the headset, he went to concentration mode, so it passed without much doubt. It was also the reason why she chose Issei as a witness. Around 5 o'clock, the two of them checked Fujita's condition one last time and left the broadcasting room. Standing at the entrance of the gym was Hasami. Issa left the gym as they were, but curious about why Hasami came to the gym, Issei went back to the gym by herself after about 5 minutes. She was aiming for some kind of scoop so that tonight's broadcast would be well-rounded. However, at Issei's barrage of questions, Sasami left the gym without saying anything because she was ashamed of the fact that she had called Shimagami with a note. Because of this, Hasami was briefly suspected of being the culprit, but she was soon cleared of the charges because circumstances made it impossible. Shimagami, who received the note, also stopped by the gym, but Takaharu's testimony makes it clear that he has an alibi, so I'll leave that out. After that, Issei went back to her room and went to sleep. But she overslept. Issei wakes up at around 7:15 p.m. and realizes that she is late for the evening broadcast. And hurriedly ran to the gym. Her appearance must be certain because Hayamoto testified. She entered the broadcasting room. Issei entered the broadcasting room and must have realized that Fujita was in a strange state and approached him. And confirmed that Fujita was dead and screamed. Why does Yukari not have the braids? Oversight in the art there. Just then, because the evening broadcast did not start, Yukari, and Atsubaki visited the gym with an ominous heart, heard the screams, and ran to the broadcasting room. And found Fujita dead cold and Issei screaming. This is the truth about this case.
And the culprit who committed the series of crimes, that's right. Seina Tatanashi, isn't that you? It's over. Whatever it is, it's better check the violin case. No, you don't have to. Say no. It's like they've come all the way here. There's nothing more to argue about or whatever. It's like, what are you talking about, Issei? Something like that. Yes, what are you talking about? Kana, I'm really sorry. And we can have trial mode. I'll get this report card of how bad I did. Sure. No. Please, Sayana. Say... Ooh, poo, 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 poo. Until there. Monokuma. It's nice to have a tearful new wave like that, but shouldn't we just put an end to the trial soon? Yeah, I don't like... Yeah, there's always... The after, like, dialogue is always so dreary. And also so... just wearisome. Like, just get it over with. Just kill her already. Of course, it's time for you guys to make the final choice of black. It's voting time! Oh. I thought we were just gonna go straight to the execution. Oops, I forgot about voting. I'm telling the old women, let everyone participate in the vote without exception. Being punished for dying and dying for trivial things is a bit like that, isn't it? What? As a result of the vote, who will be the blackened? Is the answer... Who will be chosen as the blackened? Is the answer correct or not? Now how about it? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Yes. I don't know if I actually vote in this one. It's not like V3 where I actually have to vote. And now I have to get this whole backstory stuff about why she did it. Day Chung Dum. That's right, the black who killed Yosata Fujita is a super high school level composer. Is the super high school level violinist Seiyuna Tatanashi. Is it really Seiyuna? Even though the results came out and the verdict was handed down, I still didn't feel it. Well, I felt it a long time ago. The one who killed Fujita, who smiled and said to cheer up even though he was in such a dark situation. It was really Tatanashi. Okay. Seina, why did you kill Yosaku? Please answer me, please! Anything I say from now on is just an excuse, but will everyone listen? If you ask me why I killed, I had no choice but to say that it was my motive. It was the motive. Or whatever. Why'd you make such a stupid choice? We all watched that video, but you still didn't... But we still didn't commit murder. Were you the weak-minded one?
What on earth did you see in your video? What do you value? What do you need to protect? A lover? Or something that will stir your heart? The one that appeared in my video was the person I had to atone for. Atonement? This is the story of my younger sister. Younger sister? Aren't you Tatenashi Dono's only daughter? It's just one of the common dirty stories in the world. An illegitimate child born of her father's affair. But I had a half-sister. So you're the bastard. But you had one that was legitimate. There's a legitimate sister. But as a father, he couldn't announce it to the public. The moment it became known that the head of the Tatanashi family had a child from an affair, the aftermath would have been enormous. That's why he became a person from the What? She became a person from the beginning. Not long after she was born, she was secretly moved to an orphanage, they say. Such a thing. I found out about this later and secretly found the child, but the child was already in a state of immobility in the hospital. Okay, so maybe she is legitimate. It's the bastard that was ended up in the hospital. I may be getting them mixed up. Fortunately, she was receiving treatment during her misfortune, but the treatment cost was too high for her to bear. I argued with my father and asked him to send money for treatment, but he refused. It was at that time that I started participating in violin competitions continuously. Because that was the only thing I knew how to do. Fortunately, I was able to continue to achieve good grades, and naturally I was able to support my sister, whatever, it's probably sibling, by donating the extra income I earned from selling prize money and selling concert tickets. I will take care of my younger sister for the rest of my life. That was become my goal in life before I knew it. Because I committed an irreversible sin against that child. Santa didn't do anything like that. It's a matter of position and feelings. The life she might have enjoyed as a daughter of the Tatanashi family. I've lived alone without knowing anything about it. Seina. And even if the world doesn't acknowledge it, I'm that child's older sister. At that moment, Tatanashi's body began to tremble. By the way, do you know what was in that video? The hospital she was living in was on fire. Besides, the hospital room the child lived in is scorched black as if something had exploded and the child is nowhere to be seen. I couldn't bear it. I wanted to go out anyway and check it out. So, Mr. Fujita, I didn't know it would end up like this. If they didn't find out who the culprit was, everyone would die. I had no idea. Had I known that, maybe I would change my mind about committing murder. She didn't know at this time that the Blackened would have to kill everybody. It's all because of that Monokuma guy. Takahara brought up the world about he brought up the class trial after the murder. That's why you. Right, I thought I only needed to kill one person. In the end, my sin. I don't know if it was inevitable that this happened. Don't talk like that. Seina didn't do anything wrong. But you killed someone. Thank you, Kana, for saying so. It's time to say goodbye. Mr. Monokuma, please start. Are you... What? Okay, let me try to... Monokuma is really hard to translate here. You're supposed to, like, scream and stuff. Are you calmer than... You're calmer than I thought you'd be. It's better, stop his standards, stop it. It's Gah! I have to be surrounded by despair and screams. Oh. Aren't you afraid to die? I'm afraid, but if you think of it as an atonement for what I've done. And if there is an afterlife, I will soon be able to apologize to Mr. Yosaku. Are you sure you're gonna go to the same place? Doesn't it matter? Wow. Turning his gaze towards us, Tatanashi bowed his head deeply. Bowed her head deeply. Oops. I've caused a lot of trouble, everyone. Sorry. And Kana, thank you so much. Tatanashi, the first friend I made after coming here. Thank you so much for being my friend. Seina. That's it. Time has passed, so I'll do it quickly. Wait a minute. I still want to say to Seina. I hate you. I don't wait. And isn't it that much more desperate? That bastard. I prepared a special penalty for Seina Tatanashi, a violinist at a super high school level violinist. Oh, please take care of yourself, everyone. Seina! So let's go strong, shall we? Go strong? Is that how it is in Korean? Okay, this is how they translate it to English. Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time! Annyeong, Kana. Not the best, but it's just a fan game. Like, you can't actually, can't expect people, to devote their life to this. Like, I certainly am not. A scene unfolds before my eyes, running through the poles of unreality. The extremes of unreality. A hopeless scene in which an important friend disappears in an instant. Such a terrible sight that even the hopes of that have been growing little by little collapsed. Bravo! Encore! Encore! Did you really kill? Something's wrong. Even if it's wrong, it's definitely wrong. Why did you come up with something like this, you bastard? Because it sounds well! Even if you say why, if there hasn't been a murder case in the first place, there would have been no class trial, right? What kind of noble shinboni are you blaming me for? Or making me out to be? It's fun! Don't be ridiculous. If you hadn't shown that video, this wouldn't have happened. I hate it. Such responsibility. Kids these days have a stronger tendency to avoid responsibility than lack of grit. So that's a problem. You can't tear it apart, huh? What the hell do you want from us? And then there's more to it than that. If you're gonna kill anyway, it would have been better if you just killed us. Even though Okuhana-san's questions always sound similar, they are sharp. And I can only give you one answer to that question, right? And that is Charmong. That is despair. Or Jarmong. I mean, I want you guys to fall into despair. That's why you're doing this? In their future communal life, knowing that would be part of the fun, right? For humans, the spirit of inquiry is really important. What? I will kill you, surely. I haven't seen such a scary person among those who say that, what? Then, since it's almost midnight, you guys, please go back to your room. Sleep, I can sleep for a while. And Monokuma disappeared. And left us alone in this nightmare-like reality. Although the trial is over, we couldn't move from the spot for a while. Except for one person, Asayoru. What are you refreshingly stretching your hair with? It's okay to go back to Shoujo's room, and I thought it was fortunate that I was able to save my life. Or what? Am I not going to be able to stretch as I please? What? She only received the price for her crimes. Mourning here doesn't mean she will come back alive. I think it's more constructive to go to my room and rest. Don't you think? My friend died, and you say that? Friend? What is that? Even those who say that they have the least motive to kill others at any time. This communal life, I think it's already too late to be revived, relieved, whatever. Haven't you heard the saying that there are things to say and things not to say? Don't get excited. We're just saying, let's take care of each other. So I hope I don't get involved with you guys in the future. You bastard, get out of here. Get out of here right now. I think so. Asayoru leaves the court after laughing at the angry children. Seeing his imposing attitude, we were speechless and just looked at each other. Why did this happen? Someone killed a dear friend. That someone is among us. We also killed someone with our own hands. Such a terrible thing. I wish it were all a nightmare. What will happen to us now? What will happen from now on? Oh.
Danganronpa.
Tay Chung Dub. That's right, the black that killed you. Oh. Yosada Fujita, super high school level composer. What? Why is it going all over again? Oh, is it a flashback? Sayini Tatanashi is fine. We prepared a special penalty for Sayina Tatanashi, the super high school level violinist. Everyone, please take care of yourself. Let's go strong. Let's give it all we got, shall we? It's punishment time. And then the punishment happened. I don't do it. Don't do it. Saina, why Saina? Screaming. Chi Chijik Chiki. Ack! I woke up with a scream so loud I doubted if it was me. As soon as I got up, I felt my body tremble from the dampness, the moistness, and the coolness felt throughout my body. As I wiped my forehead with a trembling hand, a lot of sweat came out. My body was drenched in cold sweat to the extent that I could believe I had taken a shower with sweat. It was too vivid to be a nightmare. Well, Monokuma shouts the results of the vote. Datanashi's final greeting. The death of her most precious friend, even the devastated voice of Issei, who had no choice but to watch. Damn it. The feeling of not wanting to do that was like a chimney. But if Tatanashi hadn't been pointed out as the culprit, we all would have died. Were our actions really right? Isn't even thinking like this just an excuse? As a result, the fact that she killed our friend remains the same. First of all, I decided to stop thinking because I feel sick and hungry. Only bad thoughts come to my mind. If I solve even that, I might feel a little better. Let's go take a shower and go to the restaurant. The moment I entered the restaurant, I felt a bit of tension, no heaviness. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're all here. I would save, but I can't save right here. Weirdly. There are so many people, but everyone is silent. Huh? Ah, you're here. Misako, this? I had something to say, so I gathered them all. She said earlier that she went to your room and knocked on the door and there was no answer. So she was worried. What was she doing? Not even answering. Is it she, just me? I was worried because I knocked on your door and there was no answer, so I was worried. Well, what were you doing? Not even answering. I didn't notice at all because I was sleeping, sorry. It's okay, because it's not too late once seated. Go right into that protagonist seat. Right in the middle there. Kazuki, did you sleep well? Yeah, that's fine. Is that so? And then for some reason it translates that as thank God. Great. Are you worried? It's more natural to worry. Over there, turn off the local TV for a while. I want to focus now. I'm sorry. Well, there are people who don't know, so I'll announce it again overall. There was a message from Monokuma along with the wake-up broadcast earlier during the morning broadcast. A message? In his words, a new world has opened, so you can wander around as much as you like. Trapped in a situation, but what is a new world? It could be a trap, but what is this new world? So, what is that new world? The shutters going up to the second floor were up. I haven't climbed it yet. It's not a bad choice in the sense of being careful since you don't know what will come out. Even if it's a trap and it's dangerous. That's why I want everyone to go up and investigate together. If we go up together and investigate, we'll be able to prepare for any dangerous situation that may happen. Dangerous situation. A word that immediately comes to mind when you hear the word dangerous situation that could happen. What? Murder. It's possible that you wouldn't even think would happen if it was originally, but now we've seen it happen. Since that happened, the only kids seem to be looking at each other as well. Other kids seem to be looking at each other as well. Probably remembering the day before. It's hard to adapt to this kind of atmosphere. Then, are we moving in groups again this time? It's probably safer that way. Then, according to the current number of people, groups of 3 people. Can't save. Oh. Why are you doing this? Akaru. There you are. I inadvertently skipped over you. Eh. It's 13, okay. Sorry. It's okay, I'm used to it now. It's about this kind of treatment. Completely dead. They say they're used to it, but is it really okay? Interesting. Still, there is no choice but to make a team of 2 people. Or to make teams of 2 people. That's a bit uneasy about the number of people. I'm not uneasy about 2 people. Don't be silly, we're the only ones in this building. Could anything be dangerous? There is a 16th student hiding out in this building. That's why, or a 17th student in this case, because they started out with 16, I think. That's why it's dangerous. Takahara-kun, can you say with certainty that everyone is not mentally disturbed right now? Ooh, wah! Are you sure that no misfortune will happen in such an extreme situation? Of course. Of course? He seems to be unable to say for sure. Don't be noisy, it's just that my throat is choking, that's it. He didn't mention it directly, but Komori was probably saying that because he was concerned about the danger of murder. And that means he doesn't trust us. Then I'll act alone. And if you're anxious, shouldn't you act alone? I agree. I feel a bit uncomfortable. I might be more uncomfortable that way. If I go alone, at least there won't be any worries about being killed by the person next to me. The 2 of us made a set of unlucky words and fell asleep. Well, that's weird. The 2 of us made a okay. I guess that's like a euphemism. That's an expression for accidentally killing someone. I'll say it once, Mr. Takatsubaki. I just want you to know that the number 1 priority to me is my life. I am tired of hearing that so many times. You don't have to say anything. No, it seems like being hated on without realizing it. If you don't like that, don't play like your name, you damn bastard. What? This guy hates everybody. If you're gonna do it, act alone like that guy from the beginning, or act together. Do one or the other. Now I'll choose the solo action this time. It feels safer that way. I'm saying don't be fooled by vague words like this time. Don't be fooled by vague words like this time. It's just that we move according to our needs. Don't worry, my actions won't get in your way, or get in your way. Calm down now. Fighting over something like this doesn't look good, and you too. Why are you like that, Mr. Okuhana? If you guys choose to do it, I won't stop you, but isn't it dangerous to act alone? It's better to just join the other group one on one. Hey, wait a minute. Kana? Why is she so dark? Since you've been listening to it, I've been listening to it all the time, I thought it was a bit too much. You've been trying to form a group without one person from before, right? If I count it properly. Of course, including Akeru, there are only 5 groups of 3 people. Issei speaks with a strangely high tension. At first glance, it seems that the tension had risen a little from the usual Issei, but it was so dangerous, it was so lively that it seemed like it would collapse at any moment. Let me ask you a question. That falling out, who are you talking about? Are you deliberately pretending to not know? Mitch is too good is all I can really translate it to. But it's Namu. Yeah. Of course you're Seina, right? Super high school level violinist, Tatanashi Seina. It was only for a moment that everyone in the restaurant was enveloped in silence. The name Issei, with flawless smile, spoke brightly. It was no longer a name from this world. Kana and Seina are late. Or Seina is late. I usually get up early in the morning, go to the restaurant to practice. She usually gets up early and gets to the restaurant to practice. I think she overslept today. I'm worried, so I'll go and get her. Wait a little bit. Go quickly. I'll go quickly. Listen, Seina's already... She's not dead! Issei's rant. No, a cry that would be called a scream filled the restaurant. She's not dead. Seina couldn't have died. Such a kind Seina. She wanted to cheer everyone up. She couldn't have died. She couldn't be dead, no. Issei sits on the floor helplessly and cries incessantly. Seeing her not stopping crying while gasping for breath in a convulsion, my heart breaks before I know it. Hey, Misako? What's wrong? Speaking of Kana, how about taking her out of the investigation for now? I don't think I'll be able to fight cancer in that state. Or investigate in that state. She'll be able to investigate in that state. More than anything, Kana herself is also suffering from the downpour. Wouldn't it be more dangerous to leave her alone? So, can I stay in the room with Kana? I'm sorry for all of you who are having a hard time investigating, but I'm more worried about Kana right now. Got it. Then I'll ask you. Thank you. Or I'll let you. Let's go back to your room for now. Don't cry. Can you help me with the support? Can I help? Oh. Isn't she taller than you? How are you going to support her? You're noisy. Big, if I only was a little bit taller. Then the small man will help. Or just this man will help.
Well, you hold the little boy's hand and get up. Interesting. I will send off Kyome and Issei and then join the investigation. I may be a little late, but please forgive me. Issei, I see. Is she okay? Leave it that way, and let's focus on our own work. It's not like we can do anything by worrying now. Right, now the priority is to find clues to escape. Of course I'm worried about Issei, but that's first for now. It's not a good sign for Issei not dying. Kong Chong Han. Charmang. Oh, goodness. Yes. And with that, we're finished, right? Whew. This is going to be a lot of work in post. A lot of work.